Good evening. Have one doing today. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Sammy J. Spirit Survivor. I'm going to give you a word on today, and this title going to be all at the home of Martha and Mary. So they're gonna have a great guest gonna come to their home. This story gonna come from Luke chapter 10, verse 38 to 42. So this is right after Jesus told the story about this Samaritan. About the man was laying on the ground. So after he finished telling that story about the Samaritan, the him disciples, they went on their way and came to a village, where a woman named Martha had opened his home to him. So now Martha and Mary they both had loved the Jesus. They loved the Jesus and would always welcome Jesus. That this was a great hospitality that they had to do because they had a great guest that came to their house. So when your guest is Jesus, you'll want to run to the kitchen, and cook. And that's what Martha did. She was the one that always was in the kitchen cooking. So she always was preparing meals. So Martha have a sister. She have a sister named Mary, who sat at Jesus' feet, listening to what he said. So Jesus came to their house. You had two hosts at the house, but one ran to the kitchen to do preparation to cook dinner. One hurried up and followed Jesus and sit at his feet. So Mary had chose a good portion that she was chosen to keep her priorities straight. So and that result, was Jesus. She was raised that way, because she heard a lot about Jesus. So the Messiah, receiving her full and undivided attention and affection. That's what she did with Jesus. And so that's what her part. She followed Jesus. When he sat down in the living room, she sat right there by his feet. And when Jesus entered, Martha went straight to the kitchen. So they both had two different things that they was doing to try to please Jesus. So she was chosen to sit at his feet, to listen to his words and have full, unbroken view of his face. But Martha, the other sister Martha, she was distracted, by all the preparation that she was doing, that had to be made. Now she came to him. Now she working hard in the kitchen. Now who knows? I'm a cook on my also. I'm a cook. So we know how hard it is to be in the kitchen. You gotta clean them pots and everything else as cooking, keeping that kitchen clean. So she came to him and asked, Lord, do you care that I'm working hard here? And all my sister doing over there is sitting at your feet? Do you care that I is here doing all this hard work and she just sitting there, she thinking her sister just sitting there chilling at your feet, so doing the hard work myself, so tell her, to help me, how two children be fussing and stuff, when the mama tell them to do something and one doing more than the other one, mom, make him help. That's how it sound like. She feel like she doing all the hard work by herself. She feel like what Mary doing, she think it's not important. What Mary is doing is important. What Martha is doing is important. She's trying to feed Jesus. But guess what? Mary trying to get fed also. So both of them is doing important things. For one, is serving and one is worshiping. So Jesus saying both are serving. Both are serving. What Martha was supposed to do preparation and cook and still serve also. And see, that's what a lot of times, that's why when I'm in the kitchen preparing my meal, the Bible and everything right there. And a lot of times, if it's in my heart, to have to talk to God or pray, sometimes I stop what I'm doing. When the Holy Spirit lets me to pray. And that's what Martha's supposed to do. Martha's supposed to put preparation on, hurry up and cook, or put the preparation on, and still take time to give Jesus attention that into her home. Jesus into her home, she went straight to the kitchen. She was supposed to entertain him. and then go do the preparation, or either do the preparation and still entertain Jesus in some kind of way. So Martha think, since she working hard, that her sister should work hard too, you know. So she feel like it's all kind of serving in the ministry, It's not all working hard, you know. So Jesus is saying that she don't have to work hard, all the time, or you don't have to work hard all the time. Sometimes Jesus said, just listen, you know, just listen and learn. And see, that's what Mary was doing, you know. And see, Martha think that Mary should be working hard like her. And you don't always have to work hard all the time. Sometimes, like a lot of time, God tell me, be still. A lot of time, Jesus want us to listen and be still. So Martha did not take time to get Jesus' attention because she ran straight to the kitchen. So now Jesus replied that Martha, you are worried and you upset about many things. So Jesus replying back to her, but he said few things are needed. Few things are needed, are indeed, but only one. One. We supposed to always give God our full attention. So Mary had chosen, what is better. So we always have a choice. Now Jesus said Mary chose to go to his feet. You chose to go to the kitchen. So that's what he's saying. She chose what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. So Jesus saying, no matter what you say, what Mary is doing, I will not take it away from her. Because what she is doing, she is listening and learning, what Jesus is saying. You came and hear what Jesus is saying because you distracted in doing preparation. And see, that's what I'm saying. So Jesus saying, you supposed to give him attention also. But you ran in the kitchen. So what she was doing, what Mary was doing, was very important. Jesus said, I would not take it away from her. So Mary and Martha both loved Jesus, on this occasion. They were both serving him. They both were serving him. But they had different ways of showing their love. Now don't get me wrong, Martha was showing love, because she was preparing food for Jesus. Mary showed love by listening to the word that Jesus was saying. So Martha was busy preparing dinner, for their guest, Jesus. And Jesus is asking her to set her priority service of Jesus. And see, that's what he's saying. He's saying it will not be taken away from Mary because you're supposed to be doing the same thing too. So Jesus telling her you have to get your priorities straight. Because what Mary is doing, she have her priorities straight. So he's saying that Martha, you're supposed to be doing the same thing. So can generate, into a busy work that will take the devotion from God. A lot of time I had to catch myself, because we could get so busy in our duties of what we doing, until it distract our devotion to God. So what we have to do, we have to give it to Him. A lot of time I come home from work, lately, like I say, I have to I'm changing my priorities. So when I come home from work a lot of time, I drop everything and just start praying. We have to really get our priorities straight, and our devotion time is supposed to be to God. And see what Jesus is saying, Martha did not give her devotion time to him. She ran to the kitchen, and what Mary is doing, giving her attention and her devotion to Jesus. So Mary was devoted, herself, to Jesus' word. was very important. That's why he said it will not be taken away from her. So what Jesus is saying, Martha, what you doing is important too. You serving. Both of them is serving Jesus in two different ways. Now, what Mary is doing is important. Also, it will not be taken away from her. So Martha and Mary is serving in two different ways. It was meant for Mary to be at Jesus' feet. Was a lesson to teach us. Jesus gonna always have a lesson that he gonna give to us. To tell us of what he really trying to aim at. It was meant for Mary. It was meant for Mary to be at his feet. Because they're saying it was a lesson that Jesus was trying to teach to all of us. That she give her devotion time to him when he entered. And that's what he's trying to tell us. He had the two stories different to teach us a lesson. When he entered a home, we supposed to give him the attention that he deserved. Give him attention, to that word he trying to give to us. But he had two different stories that one gave attention to him and one went a whole nother way in the kitchen. So Martha learned that it's very important thing that Jesus, want for all of us, to give him attention. Jesus also teaches Martha that the most important thing in life is to seek his presence. She didn't seek his presence when he entered. She went a whole nother way. Mary was the only one that followed him into the house. Wherever Jesus sit, that was she sit. Martha did not seek his presence. She opened the door, but that was it. She opened the door, but she did not seek his presence like the sister did. And so that was a lesson that Jesus was trying to give to us, to seek God's presence. So when we need to have, a close, we have to have a close, intimate relationship with him. And when we get that one thing right, then he said everything else will fall in place. He said sometimes you get so busy in life. I had to get my priorities straight. Because sometimes you'll just be so busy doing everything. So sometimes you get so busy, like Martha did, and not seek God at that moment. Mary seek God at that moment, and Martha did. That's why Jesus had both of the two stories. To see the difference of the mistake that they made. So no matter how busy, we get, we have to seek God first. So it's a lot of things I'm still is trying to get in my journey, in my stuff. That still is going on. So and a lot of time, you can still, we still have, no matter how it seems like your storm is still going on. We still have to continue on doing the right thing and seek God. We have to seek God's presence. To just still be alive to pursue the purpose that was set for us. So Jesus had told this story. Jesus had two different stories. It was meant, for Martha to sit at his feet to teach a lesson. To seek God first. Martha was supposed to seek Jesus first. In his presence, but she did. She was so busy, being so busy doing preparation for the dinner. And sometimes you can get so busy till you won't get a devoted attention to God. So that's what the story pretty much was about. Seek God and give all your attention to God and not too much to your preparation or to your busy life. So that's all the word I have for you on today. And remember, no matter how busy we get, I'm still working on a whole lot of things in my song. I'm learning to seek God first and then do whatever else that you need to do. you know. So y'all have a blessed day, and I see y'all on the next video.